Hello fellow Zooba Kings and Queens, welcome to Court Royal, and in today's video, your entertainer Zooba King will be teaching you all how to play the character Skippy. Yo guys, before we get started, I would like to give a huge shout out to JJ Gaming for suggesting this video. Go ahead and check out his channel, maybe subscribe, it's pretty cool. Anyways, just want to thank him for suggesting Skippy, and you know, I'm just super hyped I get to do this video for y'all. Yo, what's up guys, ZoobaKING here, and in today's video, as you heard, we're going to be talking about Skippy. And, you know, I enjoy Skippy, he's a pretty cool character. He's not my favorite, as you can see, he's not as high tier Grandmaster as the rest of them. But, I have him level 11, he's a pretty legit character. You just kind of have to be in the right mood to play him. He's a lot of clicking, fast pace. He's not as slow of a character as some others. Before we get started, as usual, we're going to be doing the attributes and items. So let's just look at the items and attributes. So for bow, we're gonna look. I definitely recommend range, and that's because the bow is probably one of his. It's one of his stronger weapons, I'd say. Probably shotgun is stronger, but bow is very strong. So you want to get that range on there without having to get super close to like a Buck or a Bruce who could literally kill you in seconds. Cooldown reduction, because I had extra points, but you're definitely going to want to focus on range over cooldown reduction. As for velocity, the bow is already really fast, so you don't exactly need to make it faster. Bomb. So, we do want cooldown reduction on the bomb because it's going to be used as your main way to escape. More on that later, but also range. You're going to have a lot of range on Skippy because you don't want to get very close to people because, as I told you earlier, Bruce, Finn, stuff like that can easily kill you because you have very little health. Shotgun, full range. I don't recommend anything else because shotgun is probably the most powerful, most damaging weapon, and you definitely want to have a lot of range in order that you may hit those shots very accurately. As for items, for Skippy, since he has such a low amount of health, definitely recommend adrenaline shots so that you don't just immediately get murdered because you can't touch your medkits fast enough. I definitely have that problem with even higher health characters like Frank. Next, I definitely, if you have 2 item slots, definitely recommend Holy Sandals because oftentimes you'll be playing with Skippy and accidentally hit the edge of a bridge and his passive will force you into the water. So Holy Sandals is awesome, and in general, I think Holy Sandals is probably one of my favorite items because it just gives you such an edge over other characters who may not have Holy Sandals. Third, I would recommend Vampire Teeth because, as you know, he's got low health, so I don't recommend bandages with him because he doesn't have health to regain. Vampire Teeth, he's dealing lots of damage. He's a DPS character, so you're going to be gaining lots of health back. Now, if you were going to play Teams mode and you only have 3 items, which is pretty universal now, I would be swapping out Vampire Teeth for the Defibrillator item, just simply because the Vampire Teeth is probably the least effective item out of these 3. It's very powerful, I'm not saying it's not, but it's the least effective out of the 3. If you have the 4th item slot, that's where I would be putting Defibrillator, or if you're not playing Teams, which I don't recommend Teams as Skippy, he's not a very good team character, I would be throwing in Molotov, or if you're feeling it, Happy Treats, but really, with Vampire Teeth, if you're being aggressive enough, you don't need Happy Treats. So definitely that Molotov, those are pretty good. That's really all I have for items and attributes. Let's move on to placement. Yo guys, so it's time. It's that time again. We're going to be marking up the map what places are good for our good friend Skippy. Said good twice there, and I couldn't care less. So, best places for Skippy, gonna be these water areas, the peninsula, the island. But, I have to say, only if you have sandals. I don't suggest going there without sandals, you're just gonna be stuck in water. But these places where there's water and bridges, you can use his passive to hop over the bridges, over rocks, stuff like that. In water, out of water, lots of bouncing opportunity for fights. It's just a great place to be for Skippy. Another place would be the museum. You can hop over walls, glass, stuff like that, just around corners so your opponents miss shots and are a lot less accurate. Another place would be around here where there's lots of nice rocks. Any house that has a window in it. If it does not have a window, do not be in it. But if it has a window, you can jump through. So this middle house here, and then this middle house here where the Nyx is. And so those places are just great because they've got a window you can jump in and out of. It's really awesome. The last place I suggest is really awesome for Skippy is going to be right in this middle area. because of his passive. It allows you to pretty much just jump across the entire middle area, and it gives you a vast advantage because you have the passive hops and your active hops. This is probably the best place to be for Skippy. Bad places to be? Anywhere with lots of bushes, because there are going to be characters such as Bruce, Larry, any high DPS character that can surprise you from bush, you're dead. Regardless of your level, you're just completely dead. And yeah, so stay away from those places. That's all I have for placement. Let's go ahead and step into tips, right? Guys, let's go ahead and just get into step 1. Get that out of the way real quickly. So step 1, I already kind of just totally ignored step 1 right there. But step 1 is going to be don't waste your hops. So when you're traveling around, try to limit yourself, have self-control to only use one hop at a time. This is really, really important because oftentimes when you're fighting other DPS characters such as a Larry or a character that can easily sneak attack you, you want to have hops saved up for when you can get away if you get sneak attacked. Now, this isn't as in, like, for me right now, I'm playing in low level leagues because I don't use Skippy all that often, but in higher Grandmasters, this is very, very important to save your hops. So here I'm just walking around, I'm limiting myself to doing one hop. Ooh, I almost just got killed there. And basically what that does is it keeps me from dying to Bruce, because I got sneak attack there. If I'd just been using all 3 hops, I would definitely be dead right now because I would have no effective means of escaping. Now, when you're attacking someone, that's a whole completely different thing. Use those hops to your advantage however you need to. So that was a really short step 1. We're going to go ahead and do step 2. Step 2 is also short. I mean, I've sequenced these very nicely. They all fit right into each other. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into step 2. Should not be difficult. Let me see if I can find that Bruce again, just to demonstrate that step 2. Oh, I'm breaking my rule again. I really need to get better about that. So here's the Bruce over here. So step 2 is going to be using the Jade method of attacking. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the Jade method is, with Jade, she's a hit-and-run brawler. That's her character description. So oftentimes what you're going to want to do with a character that is low health, or like Jade, I mean, obviously Jade because that's her description, but with a low health character like Skippy, you want to throw one weapon, get out of there as quickly as possible. That's because he's a squishy character. He doesn't have that much of health, and he can easily be killed. So like as you can see, I'm jumping in, shooting one shot, and then getting out. If I can hit 2, that's great. Honestly, there, see? If I hadn't gotten out there, I would have died. So we're going to do the Jade technique here. I'm just going to let you watch me kill this Bruce with the Jade technique. I honestly don't know where they are. There they are. So I'm using the Jade technique, basically getting my shots in, he can't get shots in. So actually I'm using the Jade, I'm not going to use the Jade technique, actually I am. So I'm using the Jade technique to kill a Jade. And see, I did it a little slow there, and that caused me to lose a medkit. Fortunately, they were lower leveled, so I was able to snag it. Now, step 3 is probably the most important. It's going to be sequencing attacks and knowing when to attack. It's probably the biggest category out of all 3. So, when sequencing attacks, if you did not notice, what I usually do is I lead with my shotgun. Unfortunately, I did take some damage there. Very low health character. Yes, so leading with the shotgun, whenever you go into an attack, you're going to want to go into attack with the shotgun, then throw the bomb, or no, then you're going to use your bow, because that's the second most long-range weapon. Oh my word, that's a level 15. Last thing you're going to want to use is your bomb as you're bouncing away, and what that does is it just gives you a little bit of knockback to keep you away. So unfortunately, we do have a level 15 here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take this guy down. He's going to be a difficult opponent to play against. Going to go ahead and hopefully grab this barrier here. Using the Jade method, I've already taken him down a medkit. He has not taken me down a medkit. He's down 2 medkits. Wow, this is an epic little thing here. If this stupid idiot would not attack me, I think we could take this guy down pretty easily. Alright, so unfortunately I'm down 2 medkits. So is the 15. Ah, and his shotgun sniped me, and the 9 was able to snag that win. Unfortunately, yeah, I did get third party there. So, step 3, we're going to keep going into that. Sequencing attacks. You're going to use your shotgun first, then you're going to use your bow, and as you run away, you're going to chuck that bomb behind you. Alright, guys, that's exactly how you want to doing this. Of course, it's going to vary, depending on cooldown times, the situation, just random crap like that. It's going to vary a little bit. How did I not pick that up? Whatever. But, the last, most important rule I have for playing Skippy, like, this is probably... If you could pick one very, very important thing to do with Skippy, is do not chase people. Now, you might hear me say this a lot for low health characters, but I have to emphasize it with the most emphasis possible for Skippy. As one of the lowest health characters in the game, he pretty much can get killed by people many, many lower level than him. So chasing people is simply suicide. And so what you want to do is you're going to want to be as careful as possible not to chase people, because like I said, it will end in your death quicker than you would think. He has high damage, but way too low of health for that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to kill that Betsy. So yeah, don't chase people. What you're going to want to do is similar to a Nyx. So what Nyx does when they're being attacked is most Nyxes are going to boost away from you and then proceed by shooting you and throwing bombs. Unfortunately, Skippy is a close range, so the best thing you have to that is going to be bouncing and throwing a bomb backwards, even using your bow for good measure. So you're going to be doing the Skippy equivalent of a boom dash. And so that's really all I have as a recap. You're going to be don't wasting hops when you're just walking around the zoo, unless you need to dodge something, of course. You want to use the Jade method of attacking. Jump in, throw a couple weapons, and jump right out. Alright guys, that's 2 steps. Step 3, you're going to want to sequence attacks. Shotgun first, then bow, and then as you jump away, you're going to throw that bomb. Alright guys? And last but not least, do not chase people. It is suicide. Guys, that's really all I have for Skippy. I hope you enjoyed this guide. And guess what guys, it's not over because I'm going to finish out this game with some excellent commentated gameplay. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we see this little Larry here. And I did lead with the bow that time simply because I could not quite reach it. Yes, I am chasing the Larry. That's only because I know what I'm doing. He's level 7, and fortunately, he didn't seem that aggressive. Now, there are a few rules to the don't chase people. I mean, obviously, if they're low health and you know you can take them. But don't chase people without a purpose. Always have a plan. So, looking around here, honestly, there doesn't seem to be a clear winner of this round. I mean, I have 5 kills, so that's pretty solid. Here's a level 12, so I'm kind of borderline scared. I'm not going to be chasing them, because the rule, actually I'm going to try to flank them over here. I do have the Holy Sandals item equipped, so here they are. I'm going to force them into the fire, so they either have to... Oh, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to get a connection error here. I hope that does not cost me. Hey guys, I'm back. Unfortunately, because of that connection error, I did lose that game. Sucks, really, it just sucks a lot, guys. But, you know, it's set up pretty well. Anyways, guys, I hope this was informative. And, you know, if you liked the video, let me know down in the comments. That's really encouraging, and it helps me understand what you guys like so I can keep growing the channel to better y'all. Also, I'm approaching a decent amount of tickets. Let me know what y'all want me to spend my tickets on. I personally don't have a preference. Because I kind of want to buy the Shinobi Larry skin, but at the same time I kind of want like an emerald crate or something. But quite frankly, I don't really know what I want. So y'all just go ahead and tell me. I'm not buying Hype Tony. Just, he's not my favorite character, and quite frankly, I don't like the skin. But apart from that, whatever. I hope you guys like this video, and you know what? Thanks for watching it. I hope you have an outstanding day, and until next time, I will see you in the zoo.